Hi everybody, welcome to another Chats with Chaudhry. I hope you're safe and well. Today I'm delighted to be joined by Clara, who is working for the BioPharma Group, and we're going to be talking about freeze drying. And Clara, it's lovely to see you, but I'm guessing because you're not too far away from me, when you look out of your window, it's wet, dreary and cloudy, isn't it?
Yes, indeed. I mean, it's the London weather. Yeah.
It is.
Nice,
Winter's coming.
nice to see you though, Miss Vance.
Yeah, it's lovely to see you. Well, in fact, the last time I saw you in person was actually in Edinburgh, wasn't it? At DDL Summit. This time last year, in fact, it was the first week in December or second week in December. We met each other at DDL in Edinburgh. That was the last time I saw you at a live show.
Yes, I believe so. Yeah, I have not been to any events since beginning of March. So since the lockdown, we don't have any events except the online ones.
I know.
Yes.
So, well, it's lovely to see you. And obviously, we're going to be talking
Mm.
about freeze drying. But before we do that, I'm sure there's people out there who've not heard of BioPharma Group, shockingly. So, why don't you tell people a little bit about BioPharma Group and your role there?
Sure. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, depending on where you are. This is Clara from London. I am a business development executive of BioPharma Group. BioPharma Group is a leading service company in lyophilizations, which is freeze drying. I am responsible for the consultancy service side of business, working alongside with our R&D team. We support pharmaceutical and biotech companies worldwide, from formulation developments to productions in lyophilization principle.
Brilliant. Now, obviously, we just talked about lockdown and you've not been traveling since March. So, how have you, as a business, been able to deal with the pandemic in terms of supporting your customers and working with them through this very difficult period?
Since earlier this year, we had our first lockdown, like most companies, most other companies. BioPharma has promptly rearranged the facilities and resources accordingly, such as moving all the meetings online and revising our colleagues' work schedules. As we are now working on a lot of COVID-19 related projects, therefore, while some of us are working from home when we can, our scientists, engineer, and production staff have been working on site all this time during the pandemic, making sure our services meets the customer requirements.
Right, fantastic. Now, let's talk about freeze drying. And let's start with a really basic question for those not familiar. What is freeze drying and why is it important?
Freeze drying, or also called lyophilizations, lyoprocess, it is a low temperature dehydration method process that involves freezing, lowering pressure, then removing the ice by sublimation. It is different from other conventional dehydration methods, such as hot air vacuum drying, where you evaporate the water using heat. Freeze drying is also a stabilization method that is widely used in drugs, vaccines, diagnostic, and other biological materials. This method remove the solvent, often water, from a product to a level where the products show significantly increased stability.
Right, okay, fantastic. So how does freeze drying resolve the issues of transplantation to alternative climates of vaccines and injectables, which are needed to be stored at low temperature? And obviously, which is a very hot topic as we're talking about vaccines at the moment in the UK with the Pfizer and BioNTech vaccine, which is meant to be stored at a very, very low temperature.
Very good question. Most courier who handle medical supplies are set up to maintain products at ambient temperatures or regular refrigerator temperatures. There are couriers who can ship at lower temperatures, such as minus 20 degrees Celsius, like regular domestic freezer, or minus 80 degrees Celsius with dry ice for scientific samples. However, it is difficult for many couriers to do this in large quantities, and there can be a big challenge in maintaining the cold chain right to the final shipping destination. The principle of freeze drying is to remove all water from a product while maintaining the activities or potency like bioactivities. This gives three main advantages for shipping and storage. Firstly, the dry product can be stored at a higher temperature than the liquid product. Secondly, lower water level can mean less chemical degradations of products. Finally, the freeze-drying vaccine formulation or any injectables reduce shipping rates. Having a lighter and more chemically and thermally stable product make it more feasible for shipping vaccine and injectables, and hence increase the accessibility to more cities and even countries.
Right, okay. So with the complexities faced in liquid formulation development, would utilizing a freeze-drying or lyophilization stage in the formulation process prove beneficial, and if so, how?
Good question again, thank you. When developing working formulation, transportation factors are often sidelined in favor of drug delivery method. Often, it's only after successful development that impact of the geographical distribution is considered. In line with good practice, thorough planning for outset to target patients and accessibility is fundamental. In many cases, formulations would be developed collaboratively, utilizing with different skill sets from different scientists or groups like health teams or companies. For example, BioPharma Group specialize in freeze drying and therefore adds value by knowing which excipient, lyoprotectant, or buffer is needed to allow the formulation to go through freeze drying process, preventing degradation, phase shift, or any reaction within the formulation, aiming to enhancing our collaboration's expertise to achieve successful project results. Together, we can work on a list of formulation candidates, then shortlisting, and eventually finding the right one. So this collaboration from start could speed up the process of finding the right formulations and freeze drying afterwards, which will help the product get to the end user faster.
Right, okay. So let's talk about cost. So by adding freeze drying to the formulation development process, does it drive up costs of the final product? Or do you find that with higher batch process efficiency, that actually helps bring the cost down?
Very interesting point here, thank you. One of our formulation service is to help optimizing the freeze drying cycle, as well as supporting tech transfer and scale up production. We also support many CMO in increasing their production capacities. By working together, we aim to have a product which has a better stability and or shelf life to make it more accessible and affordable. Having a successful lyo formulation, in fact, can have a positive financial impact over long term, such as higher returns on investments.
Right, okay. Now, I know as a business, you've increased your freeze drying production capacity. Now, is that just for diagnostics and the vaccine markets, or is that for all R&D that employ freeze drying as part of the process?
Yes, we have increased our freeze drying capacity in order to support the current demand of COVID-19 diagnostics, such as the PCR ones. Currently, we can only produce diagnostic at our site. Should our customer require clinical or commercial productions for vaccine, injectables, or other biotherapeutics which require GMP, we also have a number of collaborators worldwide with various capacity and license, where we can tech transfer the developed protocols accordingly. With over 30 years of experience in freeze drying, we don't just support diagnostic and vaccines, but also other injectables, therapeutics, medical products, and food and beverages.
Right, okay. And you talked about that. So how can other industries and applications, or what other industries and applications can benefit from, the freeze drying expertise that you have in lab, in lab analysis and consultancy services?
Over the years, we have supported a broad range of products, including medical devices like collagens, injectables, diagnostics, and therapeutics like anti-cancer drugs or antibody-based products. In recent years, we have also been asked to do more work on food juices and artifacts. Freeze drying can be very useful in most pharmaceutical, cosmetic, nutraceutical products that as this helps stabilize the bioactivities by removing the moisture content to a desirable limit. This means knowing the critical temperatures of the product and developing a process tailored to that particular product is imperative, as they all have unique characteristics and critical temperatures. In fact, the most common reason for a company to come to us for freeze-drying service is that their formulations and processing cycle aren't working effectively, like losing bioactivities leading to run failures, or the drying process are no longer cost-effective. This is often caused by not knowing the critical temperatures for the new products or formulations, or trying to use the existing drying protocol developed for an old product that aren't appropriate anymore. BioPharma Group scientists helped remedy this by applying the most advanced techniques in creating the right formula and cycle to meet the need for the products and projects they are needed for.
Right. Okay. So, and looking ahead, what do you see the trends now and the future for freeze drying?
We have already begun to see large demand in freeze drying, especially after the pandemic. More people understand about the needed of freeze drying, because they understand more about like the need of storage and accessibility and affordability for the public. So yeah, we can see there will be more and more liquid formulations going to be turned into freeze-dried formulations in long term.
Right. Okay. That's interesting. So now if people want to know more about freeze drying and BioPharma Group and the services you offer, how can they get more information?
If anyone would like to find out more about our lyophilizations or discuss any about freeze drying projects they are currently working on, feel free to drop me online via LinkedIn or contact us via our company website at www.biopharma.co.uk.
Brilliant. Well, you don't have to write that down, everybody. That link will be above the video, so you can click on it directly. So all that's to say is, Clara, thank you very much for taking the time out to talk to me today. It's been really interesting.
Thank you so much, Richard. Thank you for having me here today.
Great. And as always, thank you for watching. If you've got any questions, as Clara said, feel free to send her a message directly on LinkedIn or put it below the video in the comment box, or you can click on the website and go there to get more information as well. So as always, until next time, Clara, hopefully I'll catch up with you at a show sometime in the not too distant future, maybe quarter Q3, Q4 next year, I think realistically, but we'll see how it goes. But thank you very much. Until next time, stay well.
Yeah, likewise. Hopefully we can meet each other soon after this situation.
Yeah, exactly. And to everybody watching, I hope you found that useful. And as always, until next time, stay well and stay safe. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.